What's going on, everyone? Out here on this beautiful Sunday morning on the Kawasaki Eliminator. Take a little ride. Don't really have an agenda for today's video. Just kind of take a little putt around and see what happens. Well, 2024 Kawasaki Eliminator. If you've watched my channel at all, I'm sure you've seen this bike quite a bit. Starting the ride out here in Nampa, Idaho at the Deer Flat Wildlife Refuge right on Lake Lowell. Seemed like a nice spot to start. Well, anyways, why don't we take a little ride and see where we go. Oh, turn it on. Sorry, make creaks and stuff. That's what happens when you get old. Getting old, I should say. Alright, take a little putt down by the water. Now, if you're not familiar, this is my wife's motorcycle. I like to make some content with it, and it's honestly my most viewed motorcycle that I make videos about. A lot of people are very curious about this bike, which, I mean, makes sense, right? It's a great little bike, not too expensive, very approachable, surprisingly fun for semi-cruiser. When I say fun, I should say nimble. I don't really have tons of experience on cruisers, so I don't want to mislead you there, but forward facing breeze, hopefully that's not too noisy. Watch out for all the pedestrians out here. A lot of people like to hike around here, which is pretty. There's nice trails. Go check out the water. I've had a nice long weekend, took a couple vacation days. Was going to ride a lot more, then it turned being cold and rainy. We got one day out on the dirt bikes and take a little ride on this. Hopefully we get my wife get a little ride out on both of our bikes today. I'm not sure if we're taking dirt bikes back out. It's one of those things where I love dirt bikes, but having to load and unload them becomes a lot less fun when you could just leave your driveway. Keep going back and forth on what I'm going to do for my next motorcycle. I have so many ideas and they change constantly. I think like, oh, I'll get something fast, but probably not going to do that. That's probably not anything that makes any sense for me. I think I'm going to buy maybe a Transalp, little ADV type bike. There's so many times out riding with my wife and I where we see some dirt roads going off and you're like, man, be interested to see what's over there. And on our dirt bikes, obviously we can do it, but we're not always taking our dirt bikes way out and unloading them. ADV bike would be fun. I always had a dream, at least in the last few years, of doing like a ADV ride in Argentina and Chile. Seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Guess I'd need to work on my Spanish. I'm terrible on Spanish. Every time I try to learn it, I mean, I know, years of doing construction, I know all the, basics and all the curse words you can imagine, of course. I don't think that's going to help me. But every time we get into it, we'll download one of those apps and we'll do the thing. It's like, a real good 2 weeks of pushing hard on it, and then it's like, man, so hard to find time to do all the things I want to do. To only do so much, but that'd be awesome. I go on rabbit holes, and I was on one in Argentina this morning watching YouTube videos. Don't know a whole lot, but seems to be doing pretty good down there right this year, last year. That new president they got seems to be shaking some things up. Seems to be doing pretty good for them. I'm a fan of the libertarian ideals of limited government interventions, so kind of like what he's doing. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So, you know, but like I say, I go down rabbit holes, start watching YouTube videos, watching all their food. Like, if you like meat and cheese, it seems like the place to go, because that seems like what they do. Just lots of meat and cheese, which, I mean, I love meat and cheese. That's great. Yeah, I had my last video posted in my dirt bike, and I like to throw something a little different in there once in a while. I know that's not a big, at least for the videos I do, that's not super popular, which is fine, you know. I'm not out there doing crazy jumps or crazy hill climbs or hard enduro or racing motocross. I'm just out there having a good time. I will say though, if you haven't had a chance to ride dirt, you should definitely do it. Maybe not hop on a 450 or nothing like that, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. Those things are very powerful. They can flick you off. I was playing around in this one little tiny section. It's like a little uphill. When I say track, it's not really big jumps or nothing, but you know, a couple little rollers you can play with. But when you come off one, I go through a little ditch, and I'm in the second gear, come through the ditch, and then my suspension unloads, and you can just rip on it just a little bit, and it just will start wanting to pull a wheelie so hard in second gear. That thing's so much fun. I think the next video I do in the dirt, I might do a little overview of my wife's bike. I think that's a great beginner dirt bike. It's new, but it's a little air-cooled Honda 250, fuel-injected trail bike. Oh, such a good bike. I think it's honestly the bike most people should have. Probably the bike I should have, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to go fast. Sometimes my idea of fun is just getting in a nice little swoopy trail where you can just start rolling into a little bit and get some of that power to the ground. It's pretty fun. It has a nice pull to it, but anyways, neither here nor there. The real shame of this weekend is that it's about to end. I got to go back to work. I'm sure you guys all have that same thing if you're not retired. And if you are, congratulations. I'm going to try to get my finances in order so I can have that same opportunity at some point, hopefully. Just need to start putting in a little more effort. Or, you know, never know. Maybe YouTube will take off for me someday. That'd be cool. Couldn't imagine a more fun thing than making content and getting paid for it. That'd be amazing. Someday it's gonna happen. Just assume I try to stay consistent and have fun while I'm doing it. I'll upgrade as I go, start doing some editing, upgrade some camera, maybe get some multi camera, throw a 360 cam and something down the road, you know. No rush. Not trying to dump a bunch of money in until I get myself worked out. There's a lot of this is an enjoyable little bike. obviously it depends on what you're looking for, but fairly nimble, decent amount of power for, you know, honestly, for anyone really. I mean, it just depends what you want to do with it. Don't get me wrong, I get the more power thing. I have that same problem. I'll get on my MT-07, and if I haven't rode it for a week or so, first 20 minutes to start doing a couple pulls, you're like, alright, this thing's pretty good. Then you're about an hour into it and you're like, yeah, it could have another 30 horsepower, would be alright. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Where am I going to go? Let's go this way. I'm really interested in those new Honda Hornets coming out. I know they've been in Europe for a little bit, but we haven't been quite so lucky to get them. And now they got that 1000, and I keep trying to tell myself that I want that bike and I shouldn't get it because it's way too fast. Honestly, probably unusable for most things I'm going to do with it. But man, that price point they're putting that bike at with all the features it has, man, it's such a good price point for 150 horsepower, which is insane. I've never been on anything near that fast. I think my MT-07 is the fastest bike I've ever been on. So hopefully that's going to change this year. Thinking about renting a bike for my birthday for the weekend. Try something a little different out. Not sure if I'm going to try to rent an ADV or a sport bike though. I mean, probably a sport bike because I don't have one. And I don't have an ADV either, but I do have a dirt bike, so I kind of get that whole concept. But I haven't had a chance to really spend any time on a sport bike, especially something with a little bit of power. Just, you know, try to take it easy. I'm not a kid, so I don't envision myself doing any 2 a.m. highway pools. Not only that, I enjoy my sleep, so I sleep at 2 a.m. Got to start prioritizing your health a little bit. I keep saying that, but I've been eating horrible lately. Luckily, I do construction. Keeps me somewhat in check. What do we got here? Many times I drive through these neighborhoods, you think I'd know my way around, but I do not. That's one of those things though, because I'm always, you know, making content though. So I'm talking half the time, so I don't get a chance to really pay attention as well as I should. Does this one go through? Is that a... Nope. Or maybe. Let's just go up there. That one does go through. Oh yeah, I ride by these people all the time. They got the scooters. I've never been on a scooter either. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, my buddy had a little old two-stroke one. We used to rally around just a little bit. I get the point of those. Those make perfect sense depending on where you're at in your life and what you want to do. It's still some nice two-wheel freedom, automatic, storage. Those, they make a lot of sense. I don't know that I can let the trying to be cool factor go yet, though. Still have that in my head. Still young enough that I think I'm cool. But in your 40s, you got to start realizing cool's starting to go away. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, right? Besides, my daughter's going to be 13 soon, so if you want to think you're cool in your 40s, have a 13-year-old teenage daughter, you know, you will figure out that you are not cool very quickly. You are lame. Nah, she's a good girl, though. You'll get eye rolls every other word. No. I remember being young. And if you are young watching this, I know most of my demographics seem to be a bit older, you know, more my age. But if you are younger watching this, just know it goes fast. So make a few good decisions early. Set yourself up. Don't do what I did. Oh, take care of your teeth. I didn't do that. And yeah, I'm paying for it now. And man, they don't tell you that when you're young, how expensive that is. The one bothering me now, I'm like, I'm gonna get double insured this summer, so I'm trying to hold out. Just playing that dangerous game of trying to hold out to get some work done so I can afford it better and get better work done, and at the same time trying to not lose any more teeth, because if you lose a few of them, you notice after a while things become a little more difficult to eat. Old man problems, right? Oh, I'm gonna go hit that gate, but I'm pretty sure that's off limits. Still a little chilly out. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, and I mean, it's not bad, but I was expecting 4 nice days when I took my vacation time. Didn't quite work out that way, but I mean, what are you gonna do? A little time off work, you know, big buildings, managing people, all that stuff. Get a little stressful. I'm a little new to it, so it's a whole learning curve. It's good though, right? Moving onward and upward, and the only way to go. Don't know how long I'll hang on to this bike. We keep going back and forth. My wife wants to upgrade, you know. This is her first bike, and she's like me. I want to try so many different types of bikes and so many things. There's just so many different motorcycles in the world, and I want to ride them all. I'm sure she's the same way. I mean, she's a little more wanting to be able to touch real well. You know, she's a little shorter than me, and I'm only 5'7", so that's how it goes, you know. You just gotta get used to it a little bit, but she's not as comfortable on taller bikes. My WR, I think, is like almost 39 inches the seat height. I mean, it's super narrow. It's not like a street bike, but still 39 inches. I got like a 29-inch inseam. I gotta hang off one half of it to get one foot down. But you do that enough, you start getting used to it. I don't know who those people are, but almost every time I ride over here, I see them walking and wave almost every time, so that's nice. If you're not familiar with Idaho, it is a really nice place to live. I shouldn't say that because there's very expensive. Houses have tripled since I moved here because it's a very nice place to live. A lot of people were able to sell their houses other places, buy cheap here, put some money away. I was very irresponsible and used to make bad decisions, so I rent still. I still make bad decisions. I just don't drink anymore, so trying to fix that. Luckily, it's been getting warm enough that there's a lot more bikes out, so I think people are starting to, either new drivers that didn't know, that started driving over the winter, or just people getting complacent over the winter, not noticing. A few of my videos this winter, I think last time I went through, let's see where this road's at. Last time I went through this housing development, I almost got plowed over. That was not fun. Nothing too crazy. Let's see if I find the road. Yeah. And I was probably doing like 20 like I am now, and so is, I'm sure, the other person. I mean, it happens. It's mistakes, you know what I mean? Most people aren't evil. They're just, people make mistakes. I make mistakes, I get it. Luckily, I didn't, but it was close. If you think you're not going to get close calls on a motorcycle, you are wrong. Oh, was it here? No, not here. I don't think it was here. A lot of these subdivisions too don't do stop signs. You gotta kind of use your best judgment here. See what I mean? Low speed, flickability, neutral riding position, fairly comfortable. A few upgrades, this bike could be really good. Windscreen, a seat, some mirrors, and a slip-on. And some better rubber. The rubber on here has not weared so well, I will say. Oh, right here, this turn here. So I was going through here, you know, like nothing, but the driver coming the other way wanted to cut this turn, and I was right here, and I was probably, I'd say, 8 inches away from them. That's how tight they cut it. Luckily that was enough. But, you know, what are you going to do? Like I said, I'm assuming it was probably some younger person not paying attention, you know, near their house where they think they're safe and you don't got to focus as much, but it's life. It happens to all of us, right? We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. Let's go here. One of these bigger properties would be so nice. Man, I would need to, I don't know. I got this. Do I want to buy more motorcycles? I mean, there's so many things I'm into. I really like motorcycles a lot. Dirt, street. I buy a lot of tools, you know. Some tools, not as much as I used to. I keep wanting to upgrade my truck a little bit or buy a new truck. It's just getting some miles on it. It's paid off. I know I'm needing to dump some money into it soon if I don't buy a new one. It's a little small though, and it's two-wheel drive, so Idaho, that doesn't really, sometimes it's a pain. Can't really use it when I want to go out. Also, I'm a big fan of shooting sports and Second Amendment related things, so I mean, I'm just asking to be poor. It's just how it goes. Luckily, I do pretty good. I mean, I'm not far from make a lot of money, but you know, I've been doing plumbing for quite a while, and I'm working overtime on a big commercial project, so not too bad. Obviously, I still rent, you know. Like I said, a lot of that's making up mistakes of the past. I've told a bunch of people why I got into motorcycling, but someday I'll do a deep dive video. You can honk the horn like that when you're, you know, accidentally hitting the turn signal. A little blind here. Now, as motorcycles go, this bike is probably definitely on the slower side, right? Still fast though. As four-wheel vehicles go, it'd be on the faster side. I mean, not top end fast, but acceleration does pretty good. Alright, well, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer, so, you know, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, be able to comment out, ask some questions, share it, subscribe, all that goodies, so I could grow this channel. Maybe one day I can make some money doing this, hopefully. Be pretty awesome. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Ride safe.